So today I'm going to be reacting and giving my perspective on a video by Ken McElroy? Is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, Ken McElroy. He gives kind of like a prediction of what's going to happen in 2021. So I'm going to watch it with all you guys, and I'm going to be giving my feedback and reacting on how I feel and my perspective on some of the topics. If you guys haven't watched this video yet, I'll make sure to leave a link to it in my description box, so that way you can go and check it out after you watch this video. So without further ado, let's get started with this reaction video, shall we?
We're going to talk about what I think are going to be the winners and the losers in 2021. If you aren't already aware, the Federal Reserve, or the central bank, will be investing in 2021.
Did you guys hear that? So a lot of the things you guys are seeing right now, like the fake market that they're calling it, the stock market going up, prices going up. That's why right now everything still seems high and seems like everything's still doing good, right? Everything's up. But we're in a pandemic.
I want to just point out a few things that the Federal Reserve is doing right now that you may not be aware of. The first thing is they are purchasing assets right now. So one of the reasons that the stock market is on the rise right now is because the Federal Reserve is actually investing in the stock market. That's primarily the reason. It's propping it up, and it's creating what many people think is a fake market. The Federal Reserve has also bought mortgages in the past, and they're also propping up the housing market, the commercial market, all of those kinds of things.
Notice how he said they've bought mortgages in the past. He's referring to the 08 times. Many homeowners today haven't really forgotten about 08. And during that time, the feds, they were the one that invested in the mortgages during that time. They were the one that bailed out a lot of the banks. And that's what he's talking about here.
So there's been a lot of criticism from the Fed, because here's why. If you take a look at their balance sheet, which hopefully you guys understand, tells kind of where the Federal Reserve has been in the past, as you can see over the years. This started in 2007.
2007.
Here, during this coronavirus, they went from $4 trillion to over $7 trillion. And that was money that was printed, and that was money that was given to the people. It was given into businesses in the form of PPP. It was all kinds of relief money, but they went from 4 to 7 trillion.
Think about that, you guys. The feds invested that much more money in such a short time period. This is all last year. And the reason why it jumped so high was because of the stimulus packages. All the PPP for small business owners that need to take out an affordable loan to cover utilities, bills, employee paychecks, you name it. That's why there's so much money right now that's out there, because they're printing non-stop. Who's paying for all of this? Is taxes gonna go up? Cost of living, everything, is that gonna all go up? Let's find out.
With all the printing of all this money, are we going to see rapid inflation? Are we going to see our currency devalued? All of those things are in the process of being discussed. Are we in these asset bubbles right now? Are asset bubbles in Bitcoin, asset bubbles in the stock market, asset bubbles in real estate? All of those are things that you have to be watching as the Fed continues to pour more money into the economy. So let's move to the second point. Interest rates will remain low through 2021. Again, the Federal Reserve is in charge of the interest rates. Are they going to remain low, or are they going to go up? I'm here to tell you that they have to remain low in 2021 for multiple reasons. In fact, here's an article that you can see where he says the Fed pledges low rates for years until inflation picks up. The Federal Reserve's latest economic forecast suggests that interest rates will remain zero at least through 2023.
Isn't that crazy? So if interest rates continue to stay low until 2023, like what they're pledging right here, that means a number of things that you gotta take into consideration, okay? One, it's because prices are gonna keep going up when it comes to housing. So they have to keep interest rates low so that it can still be manageable, more affordable for like first-time home buyers or people that's gonna borrow money. It's low because inflation is gonna have to go up. And when inflation goes up, something has to balance that. Therefore, interest rates are gonna have to remain low. This is insane because people's not gonna want to leave their homes because they could just refinance. They could just refinance their existing mortgages to a near zero interest rate. Why would they want to move? They're being incentivized to stay now. So there's not going to be much benefits for these homeowners to want to sell. That's what we're seeing right now. Homeowners don't want to put their homes on the market because they're scared of not being able to buy a home that's affordable compared to the home they're living in now. And two, they don't want to sell. They would rather just keep it because it's so cheap to own that home that they've already been there for 10 plus years. Now the interest rates are near zero. Can you imagine? Oh, okay, let's calculate something real quick. Okay, so let's say you bought a home for $300,000, okay? And then there's a lot of first-time home buyers that are utilizing 3.5% down, okay? And let's just say the payments was $1,900, okay, as you can see right here. If interest rate drops to near zero, let's just say it drops to near zero. Let's just say 1%. $1,500. That's a couple $100 knocked off your payments by you not even doing anything just because the Feds decided to reduce the interest rate. This is why a lot of homeowners don't want to get out of their home, and they're seeing that the Feds are keeping it low. So guess what they're doing? They're refinancing. And that's why recently all these mortgage companies are charging an extra fee now just to do refinance because they're overbooked with people going in refinancing their loans. And it's because of this very reason.
It could last for years. And by the way, guys, these are very recent articles that just came out. So the Federal Reserve is basically telling everyone that rates are going to remain low for many, many, many years. In a lot of ways, this is exactly why real estate is having the run that it's having right now, is because the Federal Reserve has got their federal funds rate almost down to zero.
That's why buyers' demand is so high up there, which is causing purchase price to go up because of the bidding wars and competition. Low inventory because sellers are refinancing due to near zero rates.
So it's my belief that we're going to see a rise in inflation, and here's why. In August 20th of this year, the Federal Reserve came out and said, and I quote, "The definition of price stability was to aim for 2% inflation." And if you look at the year-over-year averages, it's been right underneath that. Some years it's been higher, some years it's been lower. What's very, very, very interesting was in August, they came out with this statement. The Fed says it will likely aim to achieve inflation moderately above 2% for some time. The Federal Reserve is basically saying that inflation will rise.
You guys know why that is what it is, right? Inflation has to go up in order for them to be able to get that money back somehow, some way. They invested $7 trillion recently just because of everything that's been going on in this nation. And that's the only way, or one of the only ways, they're going to be able to get that money back by increasing inflation. It's going to have a lot to do with gas prices, taxes. It's going to have a lot to do with the food you buy on a normal day-to-day basis. Everything is going to go up so that they could put it back towards all this debt that they got themselves into. As a consumer, you should be PO'd right now. But there is hope, so stick around.
So the next slide, which is really, really important, is that unemployment will stay high through 2021. The virus numbers are surging right now. They're spiking. everywhere. The vaccines are out, but there's going to be a lag in distribution. And also, there's a bunch of people that just plain don't want to take it. There's going to be continued business closures because of number one and number two. If you go on the internet and you type in how many business closures have we seen during the pandemic or during COVID, you're going to see that we've already seen over 100,000 businesses permanently closed.
We've been seeing that.
There's all kinds of data around this.
Nobody could go out because of the lockdown. Everybody's afraid to go out because of the lockdown, because of the virus. Even the stores are running out of items. So it's better for an individual like me and yourself to stay home and just do shopping online because inventory is not lacking there. That's why Amazon is blowing up. And that's why some of these stores are closing their doors because it's just everybody's scared. Everybody's just scared. So this is causing a lot of the unemployments to stay high.
As we continue to stay closed and we continue to contain this virus and we continue to roll this vaccine out, we're going to see a lot more businesses close. We're going to see a lot more businesses file bankruptcy, as we've already seen. These are temporary business closures that are turning into permanent closures. The numbers are horrible. As we start to see, this was temporary and this is permanent. And here we are at 160,000 right here. So that's where we're trending.
This is very hard to listen to and watch because I know many small business owners too. And man, it's crazy.
As we all know, we've moved to a homebody economy. People are now home. They're working remotely. Most of these business owners are not pulling a lot of these employees back. And everybody's kind of dealing with, where do I live and how do I still contribute to work?
This is very important too, and this has a lot to do with why real estate is headed the way it's headed right now. Sellers don't want to put their home on the market and sell and move out because the homebody economy that he's mentioning right here, they're working from home. They are already comfortable where they're at. Why would they change their living situation? The only thing that's changed, and in my perspective, better, is they're with their family. Why are these big businesses and big companies are deciding to create this homebody economy? Is because you got to consider all the costs that they're getting rid of now. Now they don't need to pay for a brick and mortar. They could just have the employees work from home, do exactly what they've been doing, and not pay for that building anymore.
It's not going to go away, and everything's moving digital.
Yeah.
So what that's going to do, it's going to have massive real estate implications. All those people that pour out of those office buildings, as an example, to get lunch, to get coffee, to buy breakfast, to go have a drink after work, all that stuff is going to hurt.
You guys heard what he mentioned right there? Because there's nobody working at these big businesses anymore, at the buildings, they're no longer taking their lunch breaks to go to the small business owners' restaurants and so forth to order lunch. They're not catering out no more with their their peers. They're not doing none of that. So it's creating a ripple effect to those businesses now because there's nobody at work. Now they're dealing with that traffic issue and now they're filing for bankruptcy because everybody's at home cooking their own meals or ordering from Amazon, DoorDashing, Uber Eats, and I don't really see that kind of economy changing, at least not anytime soon, because again, people are comfortable, they're with their family, it just saves time. Heck, my wife hasn't gone to work for like a while now, ever since everything started, and it's saving us costs on gas. Because of that, it's putting less miles and it's putting less wear and tear on my truck, therefore helping me save more money. And I like it. She's home, she's with the kids. I don't see this changing anytime soon. I feel it's gonna be the new norm.
So this is the unemployment chart. That's the civilian unemployment seasonally adjusted. And the government's saying that we're just under 7% right now. What I really like is this chart, what's called the U6. This is U1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the U6 number, in my opinion, is one of the more important numbers to watch, because as people start to fall out of the workforce and they don't look for a job, let's say for 4 weeks, they actually fall out of this employment number. So it only takes 4 weeks for them not to be reported in what was called the U3 number, which is the one that you see in the media. You really need to take a look at the U6 number, which includes all of those people, plus all these employed part-time people that used to be 40 hours, 50 hours, and now are down under 30.
I feel like the reason the unemployment is still high the way we see it right now is because some people don't want to go back to work. You know why? They're collecting that unemployment check, and you hear some of these people that are not working are getting paid more than some essential workers. I know it's not speaking for everyone, but there are people out there that is taking full advantage of the situation. And even though they're very capable to go out there and find a job and to position themselves to get out from a rut and continue to work again and decrease these unemployment data numbers, they're not doing it because you know why? They're at home, they're comfortable, and they're using that stimulus check that they're getting, that EDD, and it's not helping with the situation when they do have a choice to turn it around and make it better for everyone so that the numbers stay low. Just saying. Some of you guys right now that are asking yourself if it's a good time to buy or if it's a good time to sell, if you are in a position right now to where you can buy, if prices continue to go up like how Ken mentions in the video and rates do continue to stay low, the home that you're able to afford today, you might not be able to afford in maybe a year. So I would recommend you probably sit down with a local expert that you want to work with and just kind of ask them questions, about your current situation and how you could change it or prepare yourself for what's to come. And that's it. I think I'm done. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.